The Fishing Edge, brought to you by Berkeley Gulp Alive. Looks alive, feels alive, tastes alive.
Frequent asked question in the store is, should I buy a bait caster? Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you like increased accuracy? Do you like not having line twist? And are you using more than 14-pound test? If your answer is yes to all of those, then I would definitely suggest a bait caster. Next thing, you got to determine what type of bait caster do you want. Do you want a low profile? Do you want a round reel? Either way, neither one outperforms the other. I kind of like a low profile, it fits around my hand nicely. I can set the hook with it a lot easier. Next is the features of a bait caster. I'd probably stick to between 5 to 6 to 1 gear ratio. Get a bait caster that's got at least 5 ball bearings in it, and then you can go from there. Your budget's another thing. They range from 70 to, well, they can climb up to about 500 bucks, but I think you spend about 100 and a half, you'll get a good unit. Setting up a bait caster. What you want to do when you're setting up a bait caster is make sure that whether it's a magnetic system or brake weight system, make sure they're all on. Take your centrifugal clutch, crank her up, the setting you want. You release that free spool button. When the lure hits the ground, that spool should stop revolving without my thumb on it. Next thing you should do is take out a bunch of line. About as maximum you're going to cast, say 50 feet or so. Take a piece of tape, take that tape and put it on the line. The reason you do that, if you do mess up, well, you're going to mess up the first couple times out. You won't mess up the whole spool. You'll just mess up 50 feet or 50 yards or so that you've taken off. Next thing you should do is go outside, take a heavier weight lure or even a practice plug and go cast it. Don't go fishing the first time. Just go out and give it a shot. So take it, make sure you cast sidearm. Don't go overhand. If you go overhand, what'll happen then, if you do mess up, the lure's got nowhere to go. It goes right into the ground and then you get this big bird's nest. What you're trying to do is educate your thumb stopping the spool. Once you get that down pat, well, you'll love bait casting. And that's my tip to give you the edge.